Another morning. Jeez, what the shit that went down yesterday. Jesus, that was quite the events of last night, weren't they? It's morning. I grabbed my glasses from the bedside, put them on, and opened my eyes. The sky visible through the window is a peaceful shade of blue. Despite it being such a bright and beautiful morning, my own feelings are shrouded in darkness. There's no need to ask why. The sight of Arcueid's profile as she apologized to me remains lodged in my brain. Let's just both forget. Forget what? The assault in the alleyway? Or about Arcueid entirely? Either way, it's impossible. I can't forget a single thing about her. I stare fixedly at my hands. My fingers still remember Arcueid's body. The feeling of her smooth skin, her rising body heat. My regrets are innumerable. If she'd killed me right then and there, I wouldn't have blamed her. That was not a good scene at all. And not one easily to forget either. Even so, nothing will change the fact that I acted selfishly. At that time, why couldn't I just think rationally? What if, instead of pawing at her like an animal, I'd caressed her as a human being? If I had... I grind my teeth at my selfish thoughts. It wasn't the sight of Arcueid's golden eyes that made me lose myself. The simple truth is that at some point, I started being serious about her. Without really knowing why, I was completely charmed. For a long time now, probably ever since the moment she said she'd forgive a psychopath like me, I've been crazy about her. I don't give a damn about Roa. She's the only thing that matters. Though, I think it's best if we don't see each other anymore. I can't get that lonely smile out of my head. It's really too late. If only I'd realized sooner, I'd never have given her a reason to make that face. It's a morning like any other. Hisui comes and wakes me up. I head to the living room where I run into Akia and Kawaku-san. After making some small talk, I leave for school. It's just like it always is. I had put my life on the line to protect these ordinary moments. I should be satisfied. I didn't lose anything. And yet, I feel incredibly hollow inside. Whenever anyone spoke to me, I only could reply absent-mindedly. I left the peaceful mansion on autopilot, like a machine, just going through the motions. Okay, this is the first time we've been going to school in like a long-ass while at this point. All the students filtering through the school gates seem so cheerful. Everyone is abuzz with excitement at the prospect of tomorrow's day off.
そっか。今日は金曜日だったっけ?
I've been so busy keeping up with Arcueid the past couple of days that I completely lost track of what day of the week it is. It was on a Friday morning that I first met her. She'd been waiting for me right here at the intersection in front of the school.
あいつ、笑ってたんだよな。
She was like that from the start. Even though she was waiting to ambush the bloodthirsty stranger who had killed her, her eyes were sparkling with excitement.
なんでだろうな。理由ぐらいは聞いてみたい。
But I missed my chance. Never again will she come to the park at night. So are we just gonna be a regular-ass student for the next couple of days, unless Arcueid changes her mind in between then? I take my seat. 5 minutes left until homeroom. Nothing to do now but stare aimlessly out the schoolyard.
おはようさん。ここんところ欠席が目立ちますが、ついに本気出してきましたか?
I let out a heavy sigh. This is where we'd normally hurl abuse at each other, but I just don't have it in me this morning.
なんだよ、またえらく元気がないな。昨日は学校に来ない。来たら来たで抜け殻とはね。やだやだ。遠野がそんなんだと学校に来ても面白くもなんともない。
Arihiko shrugs his shoulders exaggeratedly.
悪いけど今日は一人にしてくれ。いいだろう、俺なんかいなくても。お前には先輩がいるんだから。いや、むしろ俺がいない方がラッキーなんじゃないか。
あ？先輩って、俺3年に知り合いはいねえけど。
何言ってるんだお前。先輩は。
I trail off medicines. What senpai was I thinking of? I don't know any third years, same as Arihiko. Is it not Natsuyo?
ついじゃまた昼飯時に。
Arihiko sneaks out through the door at the back of the classroom. As he leaves, in comes Noel-sensei. Or not? Is the teacher from the next class over?
あれ、マクマ先生？ここ 2C ですよ。間違いました？
間違いじゃありませんよ。それがですね、皆さんのクラスの担任さんは、今朝、学校をお辞めになられたというか。
Okay. Our laid-back math teacher breaks the news to us in a dull voice.
うっそ！ノエル先生いねえの？教師ってそんな簡単に辞められるものなんですか？1週間持たないとか自由にも程がある。
やっぱビッチ系だったか、あの肉食。
A wail goes up from the young men that were in the Noel faction. I just nod along absent-mindedly. It's got nothing to do with me. It's not worth my time. I've already accepted that everything's over. The woman called Noelle only came here posing as a teacher in order to keep an eye on me. Or rather, to check if I was Roa. If she's disappeared, that means there's no longer anything of interest to her here. I've been thoroughly cut off from the world of vampires. The final thread connecting Tonoshiki's world to Arcueid has been severed. Damn. Are we really not gonna see her again? It's kinda crazy. Classes have ended. Tomorrow is Saturday, so the instant homeroom ended, the other students scattered like newborn spiders. Well, that's it for my obligations as a student. The rest of the day is mine. Oh, I thought we had some... Are we gonna make a choice? Oh, no. I don't know what to do. I'm like a kite whose string has been cut. The duty I felt to protect this city, to defeat the vampire, is gone. If this is all my principles amounted to in the end, I should just let it all go. Pretending none of it ever happened would be the proper human choice to make. Arcueid is gone. Noel-sensei is gone. And besides... I was in over my head with all that vampire business anyway. That executor said that there's no such thing as a good vampire. Can I still believe that there are, even after seeing Arcueid like that? It's a very human thing to get out while you can. Wise, even. Could be your last chance to move on like none of this ever happened. The blonde boy also gave me a foul-mouthed warning to that effect. Yeah, this is a good opportunity, Tonoshiki. A chance to wash your hands of that whole violent affair and move on with your life. I am going to forget any of this ever happened. We'll see this through the end. Alright, as always, save first. Okay, so here's my philosophy, right? We've been through this whole game fighting for this one goal ever since Arcueid first met us. Are we really like this might be like me thinking too much like an anime protagonist, but are we really just gonna let that one event change this whole perspective of the story? Because I feel like the gravity of the situation and how dangerous Roa could be as a threat, and us knowing that we have the power to at least abstain it to some extent. So I feel like we can't just sit idly by just because we just saw Arcueid go crazy. As if Arcueid doesn't go crazy super fucking often. So I will pick 2, and we will just see what goes down.
そうだな。ここが潮時だ。それは間違いない。
I'll never meet her again. I don't deserve to see her again. Even so, I will at least carry out on my duty until the bitter end. I just want to take one last look at the woman I couldn't save. With that, I can put these feelings to rest once and for all. I'm in front of the site of the collapse. 6 days have passed since the inferno, and the area is completely silent. This park in front of the station used to be a site for relaxation. It's since become tragic ruins. In the past, this place was always bustling with people. People completely unrelated to me. People I'd never so much as crossed paths with. I can't write them off simply because I never knew them. And yet, I have written them off simply because I've never knew them. As it turns out, you can shelve all that guilt if you had nothing to do with it. If ignorance is a sin, every man is a sinner. If insincerity is evil, every man is a villain. That's why there's no reason for me to apologize for the scene before me. I'm not going to lament the deaths of people I've never met. Mourning these people just because it's sad would be wrong. Farewells are moments of remembrance for the living. A chance to shed tears as you thank the departed for all their achievements, as you reflect on how brightly they shone in life. To cry and apologize out of sadness is nothing more than a self-serving formality. Jesus. That's why I can never turn back on this scene. Or at least, I thought I could.
バカか、俺は。
And yet, I can't stay away forever. I'm not supposed to feel sad, nor am I supposed to feel bad. At the end of the day, I'm supposed to be a man concerned with his own survival. Even so, there's something about this that feels wrong. I can't bring down the curtain simply because I've lost everything. That's something that should only be done when you've accomplished all you set out to do and can hold your head up high. I get the feeling someone demonstrated that to me long ago. Some unknown individual from who knows where. I hear footsteps behind me. I turn to see. CL! Oh shit! Someone wearing my school's uniform, but I don't remember. Right. Even though I should have recognized the upperclassman standing there, I can't even remember her name.
こんにちは。あなたも献花に来たんですか？
いや、俺は。
Senpai doesn't look away from the foot of the barricade. Following her gaze, I see a great number of flowers swing softly, their heads bobbing as if reminiscing about the deceased. We haven't seen you in a while, huh?
自分を確かめに来ただけなんだ。それももう半分ぐらい答えは出た。
I can't pretend that vampires don't exist. Not just the vampire called Roa. Her, too. I simply can't forget this.
やっぱりそうでしたか。困った人ですね、あなたは。
Senpai doesn't so much as glance over at me. I make no attempt to meet her gaze either. I felt it was the polite thing to do in this situation, seeing as she's gone out of her way to come and give me some advice.
ロアを追うということは彼女を追うということです。
Of course you know.
その意味が分かっていますか？
分かってます。どの道俺一人じゃ何もできない。
分かっていませんね。彼女を追ってもあなたは殺されるだけです。アルクエイド・ブリュンスタッドとはもうこれ以上あってはいけません。
それはどうして？
一度でも吸血衝動に負けた神祖はもう手遅れだからです。血を吸いたいという欲求は神祖にだってある。いえ、そもそも人間の血を吸いたいという欲求は神祖から人間に移されたもの。死とは所詮人間の慣れの果てに過ぎない。私たち人間にとって正真正銘の怪物は神祖と呼ばれる始まりの吸血鬼。彼女にとってあなたは協力者である前に血液に過ぎません。
Dang. It's kind of crazy that we barely seen you throughout the game and you know this much about her.
始まりって
And what we've been through as well,
どういう？
clearly.
考えたことがないとは言わせません。血を吸われたことで人間が吸血鬼化するのなら、その根源、大元にあたる初めから吸血鬼だった存在がいることを、この生命としての系統樹が異なる吸血種を神祖と言います。人間の血なんて必要なく、人たちと同等、いえ、それ以上の超越能力を持つ者たち。彼女はその神祖と呼ばれる一族の王族なんです。彼らには身分階級がありませんから、王族というのは正しくはありませんけど。
Her explanation leaves me at something of a loss for words. I'm surprised. I only said it because she felt so detached from the real world, but she really was a princess. Man, with a disposition so sunny it borders on airheaded and a staggering disregard for common sense, she's not exactly the sort of princess you'd see in a picture book.
いいですか。神祖と呼ばれる吸血種には、人たちよりはるかに業の深い吸血衝動がある。神祖たちはもともと人間の血がなくても生存できる。けれど、その誕生にどんな間違いが起こったのか、彼らは唯一の欠点、不要な機能を持ってしまった。それが吸血衝動。ただ人間の血が欲しいという思考性です。過去、神祖に襲われればこれに対抗できる人間はいなかった。そして血を吸われた人間は、その時点で人間でなくなってしまう。原因は、生命体としてのスケールの違いとも、彼らが血液を魂として捉えている、とも言われています。神祖という強大な生命に血を奪われた時点で、人間は人間ではいられなくなる。その神祖の分身、平たく言えば人形になってしまう。仮に血を吸う側の神祖がそれを望まなくとも。
思い出した。使徒は自分の血を送ることで人間を仲間にするんだっけ？逆に神祖ってやつはただ血を吸うだけで人間を犯すってことですか？
ええ。そして問題は、彼らの吸血衝動には理由がないということです。理由がないから止めようがない。神祖という完璧な生命が内包した欠点。死に至る病とでも言えましょうか。彼らは血を吸いたいという衝動を抑えて生きています。それは理性で我慢をするといったレベルの話ではありません。具体的、物理的に、彼らは持てるすべての力を使って、常に自分自身の欲求を封印している。強大な異能を自身に使うことで、彼らは吸血衝動を抑えている。 けれどもし何らかの外的要因でその心素の能力が低下してしまった場合、抑えていた吸血衝動がどうなるかわかりますか？
If something were to cause their power to deteriorate, for instance, using their powers to heal a grievous wound. I once killed Arcueid as thoroughly as it's possible to kill someone, and even though she revived, it must have taken an incredible amount of her power. Let's say that Arcueid has a total power of 10. She probably has to use around 7 of it to keep her urges in check. However, if her total power were to drop from a 10 to a 5, even if she were to allocate all of it to suppressing her desires, it still wouldn't be enough. In fact, she'd be in the red. What was she cutting down on in order to get the energy to regenerate?
それでその衝動とやらを抑えられなくなった心素はどうなるんですか？
もちろん人の血を吸います。その後には何もありません。一度衝動に負けた心素はあとは落ちていくだけです。一度血の味を知った心素はその衝動による痛みも倍化すると聞きます。結果としてもう二度と吸血衝動をこらえることができなくなる。心素は極めて優れた種ですが、吸血衝動を抑えなくてはいけないため全力を出せません。ですが落ちた心素はもう自らを束縛する必要がない。あとはただ自らの快楽のために人の血を吸う怪物になる。
I remember how Arcueid looked last night. Her bloodshot eyes, her rough breathing, her searing breath of the back of my neck.
でもそれは
That's an outright lie. She's terrified of sucking blood. There's no way. Right. She's afraid. She's afraid because she knows that if she sucks blood even once, she'll never be able to hold herself back again.
ただかろうじて救いがあるとしたら、衝動は突発的なものだということです。心素たちは一人だけ耐えきれなくなった時のためにしもべを用意しておきます。それが使徒と呼ばれる者たちの始まりですね。彼らはすでに死んでいる使徒、心素たちに痛み止めとして生かされていた吸血鬼、それがこの町に救っている使徒と区分される吸血鬼の始まりです。ですがアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットにはそのしもべがいない。いえ、今まで必要がなかっただけですね。心素の中でも特別だった彼女は自らの意志だけで吸血衝動を抑えられていた。ですがそれも昨夜で限界を迎えた。
So that's why there's been kind of a kind of hesitation. That's probably why Arcueid said that they shouldn't meet again, because something like that were most likely to happen again, but not to any other of the dead, but probably to Shiki. So that's probably why she was like, you know what, we shouldn't meet up again, because I don't want to kill you. So yeah, that's probably why, I think. Like, I'm taking in all this information and slowly, like, putting the pieces together, like, okay, this is why this happened, and then the reason why this happened is because of this fact that can't be denied. So yeah, that's the realization we have to come to.
長く生きれば生きるほど自らに抱えた吸血衝動を肥大化させていってしまう。
So they're kind of playing like a mental tug and war with their urges to suck blood, huh?
そうして自分の力だけでは抑えきれなくなった時、
And that tug of war gets harder and harder to
自らの衝動が自らの能力を超えてしまった時、彼らは同族の手によって命を絶たれます。それが寿命のない彼らにとっての 終わりなんです。
The hell? Is that what a true ancestor really is? A creature that has to fight tooth and nail to hold back their own urges, suppressing their desire for blood, only to be killed at the hands of their own companions when they finally reach their limit? That's far from perfect. No matter how strong they are, if there was such a fatal error in their creation.
いやでもあいつは大丈夫だったよ。昨日だってすぐに元に戻ったんだ。今は俺のせいで力が弱ってるけど、怪我さえ治って力を自由に使えるようになればきっと。
ありえません。だってもともと彼女は限界なんですから。
That's probably why she went crazy like that. Were the people, were the things she were attacking the dead, or were they humans? That's the question. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, they were dead, but if they were humans, that would, one, be pretty fucked up and make a lot more sense in this scenario.
彼女が誕生したのは12世紀と言われています。いくら実際の活動時間が数年に満たないと言っても、彼女の存在時間そのものは変わらない。長く彼女の中にわだかまった衝動は、じき彼女自身を食い破ります。むしろ、今までよく持った方でしょう。
Clearly.
彼女は、アルクエイドは、もう未来のない命なんです。
Damn. That really sets Shiki going, huh? This is a first. I'm struck by dizziness so severe I can barely see my hand in front of my face. Not as a result of my anemia, but because of someone's words. So then, why? If she herself knew that she couldn't go on anymore, then what was she doing hunting vampires in a place like this? It doesn't make sense. No matter how I think about it, it doesn't make sense.
先輩の話は筋が通らない。だってさ、もう自分がダメだって分かっている奴が俺たちのためなんかに吸血鬼を退治しに来るわけがない。
彼女が吸血鬼を処理するのは私たちのためではありません。
役割ってそんなの。
彼女以外の神祖たちでしょうね。彼女が生まれた12世紀は最も落ちた神祖がはびこった時代です。神祖たちは落ちた神祖もその神祖がいたずらに増やしていく使徒も放ってはおけなかった。その手段としてただ殺すためだけの、それ以外のことを何も必要としない純粋な神祖を誕生させ処刑役にした。それがアルクエイドという神祖なんです。彼女はミサイルみたいなもので、ひとたび城から放たれれば最後、標的になった吸血鬼は確実に滅び去ったという話です。
Damn. Looks like there's a lot more to Arcueid than we didn't initially know. My dizziness returns. Stop it. Stop talking about her like that. She's so good-natured and compassionate that despite knowing and carrying her own pain, she still helped us humans. Talking about her like she's just some weapon is pissing me off.
いえ、兵器なんですよ。もともと彼女はそういった意味合いでのみ存在を許されていた。
Jeez.
ですから、この町に来てからの彼女はどうかしていたんでしょうね。あんなに話をする彼女を見たのは初めてです。
What, did y'all know each other like that? What?
もともと彼女は
How do you know this much about
言葉
her?
を口にすることさ
Not
えな
even
かった
just
のです
about
か。
true ancestors and vampires and all that, but just about her specifically. Huh? Now that's absurd. I don't know how you could possibly say that Chatterbox never spoke.
だって彼女は余分なことはしないんです。 昔から、もう何百年も昔から、彼女はそうやって生きてきた。あの三冠の古城に生を受けた時から、ずっと、永遠に変わることなく。
The sound of my heartbeat. I feel dizzy. My vision dims. Jesus. What is going on? Images of scenery I could have never known. Memories of things I could have never seen. All unfold before my eyes like a waking dream. What is that? The final paradise, sprawled among the mountains. The wilderness of Genesis, evocative of the inner sea of the planet. Kinda looks like Arcueid's Last Archetype Lumina a little bit. Archetype Earth! Whoa! The courtyard of the castle rooted within that domain. A woman is poised amidst the sea. A woman is poised amidst that sea of white blossoms, as though asleep.
彼女には余分な知識も自由もありませんでした。倒すべき対象が決定された時だけ外に出される。その時に応じた知識を教え込まれて確実に敵を処刑できるように。
There was nobody else there. Nobody to talk to. Nobody to meet her.
定められた吸血鬼を殺して帰ってきた彼女は知識を洗い流されて眠りにつかされます。何
A
も知らない
repeating
まま
cycle.
吸血鬼を殺すこと以外に意義を持たないよう幽閉される。
Yeah, this is some very pretty scenery though. Nothing else. The joy of meeting someone's gaze. And the fulfillment felt from exchanging conversation. She was never to be given either.
彼女の力は落ちた神祖たちさえ滅ぼせるほど強力だった。けれど皮肉ですね。あまりに強大すぎる能力が災いして彼女は神祖の間でも疎まれてしまった。姫と称えていながら誰も彼女には近寄らなかった。城を与えられていながら彼女の世界は薄暗い地下室だけだった。だから彼女に感情を与えてくれる者はどこにもいなかった。神祖たちは兵器の手入れをするように彼女を扱った。兵器に余分な機能は必要ないですから。
Damn.
パンを焼く機能も洗濯物を洗ってくれる機能も不要です。そんな余分なものを付属させるならもっと兵器らしい機能を付属させるでしょ。
I've always been taught never to do anything unnecessary. She said that in a sing-song voice. That's why her gaze had been so empty when she had said she'd always decided on things by herself. For her, other people have never been necessary. They didn't exist. Even if that was only because she didn't know about it.
神祖たちが彼女に求めたものは高い殺傷能力だけ。故に彼女は何も知らない。言葉も感情も存在しない。非人間である使徒よりもっと上のモンスター。生きている意味も意義もあの生き物には初めから存在しない。
That may be so. And yet she was always so cheerful, laughing happily at even the most trivial of things. Yeah, I was just thinking, like they're showing the flashback of when we had the heart-to-heart, when we were on the date. Like, the conversation Arcueid had so much more gravity now, and what she was saying had so much more gravity than what we initially knew. Like, holy shit. That's why I came to the conclusion that she'd always been like that. What a cruel misunderstanding. She was just... I mean, I had so much fun. Up until now, I never thought I could be so happy from just being like this, from just existing. That was an anxiety that I could not comprehend. In that classroom, bathed in the light of the setting sun, she'd confide in me with that unassuming voice.
アルクエイドは長く活動しているくせに、生きるという意味合いを私たちより知り得ていない。彼女が行動を許されていたのは、活動時間に換算すると驚くほど短いんです。彼女の生涯はほぼ全てが睡眠だった。それもおそらく闇のような眠りだったのでしょう。夢すら見ないようでは、そこに人間性など発生するはずがありません。
Really? I find just talking like this to be pretty fun.
そうして落ちた真相を全て処断した後、彼女が城から出ることはなくなりました。一応の目的が済んだわけですから、神祖たちも彼女にまともな教育を施そうとしたのでしょうね。けれど彼女は自由にはなれなかった。本当に些細な間違いで城に残った神祖たちを皆殺しにしてしまったから。
I see. Having only been taught to kill vampires, she dutifully carried out her orders to the very end, just as she'd been instructed to. In the end, she was the only one that remained.
同族であり親である神祖たちを処断した後、彼女は自分から城に閉じこもりました。もう誰もいなくなった神祖たちの城の玉座、城壁から伸びた千の鎖につながれて、ロアという吸血鬼が転生するたびに眠りから覚めてわずかな間だけ活動する。
Inside that deterministic world, she never spoke even a single word.
これがアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットの正体です。彼女は根っからの処刑人。自分を縛っていた神祖たちがいなくなっても、まだ吸血鬼殺しだけを目的にして徘徊している。彼女にはそれ以外の楽しみがないのでしょう。
That's a lie. That's not at all what brought her joy. I didn't pick up on it at all, neither in her words nor in her delighted smile. If only I had taken a better look, I would have understood. I didn't realize how alone she's been all this time. Dumb conversations about nothing with a kindred spirit, the fun of somehow letting the time slip away, the simple tranquility of the idle hours of the evening, all these things that we normally think nothing of. She was happy because she had never experienced that trivial repetition of events up until now.
嘘。
What's so incredibly frustrating is that she herself didn't even have an inkling of how absurd the path she'd been walking was. I simply can't stand that her past, everything she's experienced up until now, is such a cruel, unjust tale.
全部嘘だ。
I really had only ever found half the answer. I will never in my whole life understand what I should do, but at least now I finally found something I want to do. I don't want her to feel like she's lucky to experience these commonplace things. If I made these experiences things that she felt were always within her grasp, then just how... Damn.
もしもし？
What you mean, Moshi Moshi? The unfamiliar upperclassman's voice snaps me back to reality. This is Tonoshiki's reality. I took a long detour, but thanks to that, I feel refreshed.
私の話聞いてました？
いや、ごめん。記憶にない。先輩が話してたようにも聞こえたし、他の誰かが話してるようにも聞こえてました。
Senpai sighs and nods, not entirely satisfied.
つまりですね。
もういいですよ。アルクエイドが何をしていようが、どんなにめちゃくちゃなやつだろうが、もうどうでもいいんです。そもそもあいつを殺したのは俺なんだし、俺はちゃんと自分のしでかしたことの責任を倍にして返さないと。
That's what I want to do right now. I don't want her to be alone anymore.
そうですか。ですが、それは本当にあなたが負うべき責任なんですか？
I mean, after all this way, I think it is. In truth, no matter how much I want it to be, none of this is actually Tonoshiki's responsibility. That's why Senpai has come here to appeal to me to stand back and stay out of it. Take down the enemy that Arcueid came here to fight, and protect the city? That's just whitewashing the truth. You should just say it like it is. You know what you're doing, right? You're going out to kill some stranger for Arcueid's sake.
でも
I raise my head. Before me are the bouquets of flowers left in memory of the deceased. And if I turn around, I can see the familiar city, where life plods along same as ever. Ah, it's so dazzling I get a little lightheaded. The thing I couldn't save. The thing she shortened her own lifespan to protect. The thing we naturally ought to prioritize above all else, knowing where we can find our own happiness. Honestly, what a fool I've been.
でも俺にはそういうものと同じぐらい、いやそれ以上にあいつのことが大切なんだ。あいつが人間なんて気にしない吸血鬼だって言うのなら、俺は吸血鬼なんて気にしない殺人鬼でいい。
Values differing from those of a decent human being. I can accept that, to humanity, I'm the same as Vlav or Roa, the lowest of the low. In exchange, all I want is to be with Arcueid.
呆れました。ここまで言っても無駄な人とは思いませんでした。
申し訳ありません。頑固なのは妹譲りらしくて。
Heh. Funny.
妹さんね。まあいいですけど、せっかくですからおまけの忠告です。一度吸血衝動を抑えられなかった真祖は立ち直れない。もし彼女があなたの前に現れたとしたら、それはあなたの血を吸いに来たということです。
What Senpai says may be true for her. However, it's not true for me.
そんなことはないですよ。だってあいつはまだ血を吸ってないんだから。
いいえ、ノエルが止めていなければあなたは吸われていました。
違う。だって止まったんだ。あいつは大丈夫だったんだよ。だから誰が邪魔をしなくても結果は変わりはしなかったんだ。
Yeah, that's right. Arcueid's fangs had definitely stopped moving.
つける薬がありませんね。そろそろ飛行機の時間ですので失礼します。うるさい上司が来て左遷されてしまったので。
Senpai passes me by. Without ever having met my gaze or said her name, she simply takes her leave.
あ、でも一つだけ俺からも質問です。どうして俺だけ先輩を覚えていたんですか？
I still can't remember her name, but I definitely remember this person.
そんなの単に消し忘れただけですよ。それもこれでおしまいですけどね。
So you can just do that? Okay. The flower left in memory of the dead are swaying softly. Turning around, I see the retreating figure of an upperclassman, but I can't remember their face, let alone their name. I listen to their departing footsteps. After bowing once in thanks, I too began to walk back to the place I needed to be.